Today marks day 23 of the US-Israel military campaign against Iran. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu makes direct appeal to world leaders to join the war effort. Israel's military claims Iranian missiles can now reach major European cities. President Trump issues stark 48-hour ultimatum, reopen Strait of Hormuz or face obliteration. Iran warns, if its power plants are targeted it will irreversibly destroy every US-linked energy facility across the Middle East. Emergency services confirm over 160 people injured across southern Israeli towns of Diona and Iraq. Intelligence suggests intended target was a nuclear facility located 13 kilometers from Diona. Standing at the edge of the impact crater, Iranian missile created blast radius of approximately 200 meters. Several buildings completely brought down. A kindergarten stands partially collapsed. Residential apartment buildings have their entire outer facade stripped away by the shock wave. It is civilians who are absorbing the heaviest consequences of these strikes. Prime Minister Netanyahu visited strike sites personally, delivering message to international community. Netanyahu argues Iran represents a threat not only to Israel or America but to the entire world. Netanyahu expresses cautious satisfaction that some international leaders are gradually moving toward action. Netanyahu frames US-Israel campaign as collective act of global self-defense. Israel claims Iranian missiles can reach London, Paris and Berlin, raising alarm across Europe. Many people asking online whether Iran's missiles are genuinely capable of striking the United Kingdom. Iran maintains the most varied and extensive missile arsenal in the entire Middle East region. Overwhelming majority of Iran's missiles are short to medium-range systems targeting regional geography. Following Iran's attempted strike on Diego Garcia, Israel revised its missile range assessment dramatically. British government firmly and publicly dismisses claim that Iran is targeting or capable of hitting European cities. Official state Britain maintains necessary military defense capabilities to protect country from any threat. The United Kingdom is being drawn progressively deeper into this conflict. 2 Iranian missiles fired toward Diego Garcia, joint US-UK military base in the Indian Ocean. Trump reposts British comedy sketch depicting Starmer as fearful of taking his phone call. Starmer refused Trump's request to allow UK military bases to be used for offensive strike operations. Starmer publicly questions both legality of military campaign and whether any coherent long-term strategy exists. Serious concern about rising petrol prices, surging energy costs and broader economic shockwaves. Senior ministers and Governor of Bank of England convene as part of COBRA emergency committee. Growing public and political pressure on British government to protect citizens from economic consequences. Trump issued ultimatum, Iranian power plants obliterated if Strait of Hormuz not fully reopened within 48 hours. Iran declares Strait of Hormuz will be completely and permanently closed if US targets Iranian energy infrastructure. Approximately 20% of the world's entire oil supply passes through this narrow channel daily. Iranian forces already targeting vessels attempting to pass through the strait, causing global oil price spikes. Strait of Hormuz sits at absolute center of Trump's strategic pressure calculations. Oil price spike from Hormuz disruption hits fuel station in Washington as hard as one in Tokyo or London. First option, Trump could choose to do nothing and allow the deadline to pass without action. Second option, declare campaign a success, citing degraded Iranian military and nuclear capabilities. Notably, Trump has not mentioned regime change as an objective, leaving significant political room. Third option, escalate, continue aerial strikes, target energy infrastructure, deploy ground forces. Up to 5,000 American Marines aboard several U.S. warships currently en route to the Middle East. Department of Defense has reportedly drawn up detailed contingency plans for potential ground troop deployment. Across the Gulf region, other nations being steadily pulled into the orbit of this conflict. Iran threatens to target desalination facilities in Gulf states, water security itself now at risk. Gulf leaders deeply alarmed, watching with growing anxiety as Iran's response remains unpredictable. Iran views control of Strait of Hormuz as its single most powerful remaining strategic card. Iranian source supporting regime change says Hormuz is their only leverage, doubts they will surrender it. Iran has demonstrated extraordinary threshold for pain, allows economy and population to suffer for regime survival. As recently as January, regime launched brutal crackdown killing thousands of protesters demanding political change. Iran may be calculating that Trump's threats are partly a bluff, maintaining aggressive posture. Gulf states not responding uniformly. Oman preaches diplomacy while Saudi Arabia appears more open to military options. How individual Gulf states position themselves will have profound direct impact on how conflict develops. The central question dominating public debate: who is actually winning this war? Defining winning requires first establishing what winning actually means in this asymmetric conflict. This is not a symmetrical conflict, it is fundamentally an asymmetric war operating under different rules. Iran has systematically decentralized and diversified its command structure, ensuring survival of strikes on leadership. Eliminating top leadership figures does not produce catastrophic organizational collapse, structure designed to survive. Iran still capable of launching missile strikes after 3 continuous weeks of intensive bombardment. For Iran, the definition of winning is straightforward: survive. Survival itself constitutes victory. Every additional day Iran continues to function militarily and politically strengthens its position. Greater economic cost to America, greater damage to alliances, more strained relationships with regional partners. Strategic ledger gradually tilts in Iran's favor, not militarily but because America's cost of continuing grows faster. Israel's claim that Iranian missiles can reach London, Paris, and Berlin deserves careful measured analysis. Israel has strategic interest in making this claim. Broader conflict means more international support mobilized. Israel's statement should be understood as diplomatic and political tool as much as factual military assessment. For people living in London, Paris, or Berlin, honest measured answer is there is no cause for panic. At maximum range, these missiles become extremely inaccurate, with margin of error of approximately 5 kilometers. European air defense systems, including NATO-operated systems specifically designed to intercept ballistic missiles. Situation is serious and deserves informed attention, but appropriate response is informed awareness, not fear. Sober assessment of real risk always more useful than either complacency or alarm. This conflict continues to evolve rapidly with new developments emerging by the hour. Stay informed, stay safe, we will return tomorrow with full coverage.